Monday of 7th week, year 1, a reading from the book of Sirach. All wisdom comes from the Lord and is with him forever. The sand of the sea, the drops of rain, and the days of eternity, who can count them? The height of heaven, the breadth of the earth, the abyss, and wisdom, who can search them out? Wisdom was created before all things, and prudent understanding from eternity. The root of wisdom, to whom has it been revealed? Her clever devices, who knows them? There is one who is wise, greatly to be feared, sitting upon his throne. The Lord himself created wisdom. He saw her and apportioned her. He poured her out upon all his works. She dwells with all flesh according to his gift, and he supplied her to those who love him. The word of the Lord. Thanks be to God. Let our response be, the Lord is King with majesty enrobed. The Lord is King with majesty enrobed. The Lord has robed himself with might. He has girded himself with power. The Lord is King with majesty enrobed. The world you made firm, not to be moved. Your throne was stood firm from of old. From all eternity, O Lord, you are. The Lord is King with majesty enrobed. Truly your decrees are to be trusted. Holiness is fitting to your house, O Lord, until the end of time. The Lord is King with majesty enrobed. Alleluia, alleluia. Teach me your paths, my God. Make me walk in your truth. Alleluia. A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Mark. When Jesus with Peter, James and John came to the disciples, they saw a great crowd about them and scribes arguing with them, and immediately all the crowd, when they saw him, were greatly amazed and ran up to him and greeted him, and he asked them, "What are you discussing with them?" And one of the crowd answered him, "Teacher, I brought my son to you, for he has a dumb spirit, and wherever he seizes him, it dashes him down, and he foams and grinds his teeth and becomes rigid. And I asked your disciples to cast it out, and they were not able." And he answered them, "O faithless generation, how long am I to be with you? How long am I to bear with you? Bring him to me." And they brought the boy to him, and when the spirit saw him, immediately it convulsed the boy, and he fell on the ground and rolled about, foaming at the mouth. And Jesus asked his father, "How long has he had this?" And he said, "From childhood. And it was often cast him into the fire and into the water to destroy him. But if you can do anything, have pity on us and help us." And Jesus said to him, "If you can, all things are possible to him who believes." Immediately the father of the child cried out and said, "I believe, help my unbelief." And when Jesus saw that a crowd came running together, he rebuked the unclean spirit, saying to it, "You dumb and deaf spirit, I command you, come out of him, and never enter him again." And after crying out and convulsing him terribly, it came out, and the boy was like a corpse, so that most of them said, "He is dead." But Jesus took him by the hand and lifted him up, and he arose. And when he had entered the house, his disciples asked him privately, "Why could we not cast it out?" And he said to them, "This kind cannot be driven out by anything but prayer and fasting." The Gospel of the Lord. Praise to you, Lord Jesus Christ. The disciples were trying to heal a seriously disturbed boy, and whereas they failed, Jesus succeeded. In response to their question as to why they could not heal the boy, he answered that this is the kind that can only be driven out by prayer. The implication is that the disciples were trying to heal this boy with their own power, but it was only God's power that could heal him. If they were to be channels of God's power, they needed to pray more. They needed to be in deeper communion with God if God was to work through them in a life giving way.